all, Exidian here. This is an update on a previous video I made about tileable moving item filter. User by the name of RiceGnat. I will add any details that they allow me to add in the description below. Came up with a 3-wide tileable design that also fixes one of the problems with my design earlier, so I'd like to go over that. So first of all, for those of you who aren't in the know, what is a moving item filter? So you may have heard of item sorters. If you haven't, feel free to look them up. But essentially what they do, or check my previous video actually. My previous video on moving item filters covers it briefly with an example. But a standard item filter, or also commonly known as an item sorter, will take items from a conveyor belt and place them into chests, into the appropriate chests. So like if you have a chest full of, different types of wood, an item sorter might only put those types of wood in that chest and everything else will pass through. That's good and all for organizing your items in your base, but if you need some form of automation to happen with those items, say for example cooking ingredients to be automatically placed into a cooking pot, as one example, that will not do because of the way arms interact with chests. They'll take the whole item out, or the whole stack of items out, thus ruining the filter. It gets very messy. Once again, there's an example showing the problem with that in my other video. So the idea behind a moving item filter is it filters out, if this is my input line, it will place certain items, say for example these 5 different kinds of seeds, will get moved out onto these lines on the right here, whereas other items that aren't these 5 different kinds of seeds will make their way all the way down and get output to the bottom here. As you can see, this iron ore, for example, keeps getting passed down because it's not part of the filtered items, as it were, and it ends up here. Generally speaking, you would want to use these anywhere where you have sort of long and complicated filtering process. So yeah, this design is slightly better than my design that I came up with, because my design is 4-wide tileable and suffers from an issue that if you quit the game, or if it's on a multiplayer server, the server goes down with the wrong timing while the system is running. It's possible that the arms will get displaced and be in the wrong position and the whole filter is ruined and you have to rebuild certain parts of it. This avoids that issue. Now the way that this avoids that issue is by one moment. Oops, I'll keep that with me. Alright, the way this avoids that issue is using a little trick here. So if you have some items in a chest or on a pedestal or anything like that, any sort of inventory holder, and you have the same items picked up by an arm, if this arm is about to place in this chest, it's about to place 20 torches into this chest, and here we have 10 torches in the chest, and this arm is about to grab those 10 torches. If they are both turned on at the exact same time, what will happen is these 20 torches will get passed into this arm along with the 10 torches. Like so. And using that mechanic is what makes this better moving item filter possible. So without further ado, let's get into building one. So the first thing to note is that this moving item filter, the clock is on the opposite side of the input line. So if you want to expand it, you either have to expand upwards towards your input line or break the clock down and expand downwards, then rebuild the clock. Slight annoyance, but definitely worth it for the benefit of this design. So let's break down this clock real quick. And build ourselves another section, another item filter. So for an item filter, you will need 2 electricity generators, 5 robot arms, 2 logic circuits, 5 cross circuits, 4 conveyor belts, 2 drills. They can be the crude kind, or the red kind, or the brown kind. Doesn't matter. A 2 wide chest, 3 pedestals, as well as 35 filler items, and 4 of the items that you want to filter. It should be noted, if this is the first module you're building, so here this would be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this would be the 6th module I'm building, but if it's the first module you're building, then you will also additionally need 1 extra cross circuit, and I'll show you where that goes while we're building it. For the filler items, the 35 filler items, I recommend dirt walls. You get tons of those all the time. They're quite useful. Dirt or sand or any walls like that. But if you use filler items, say dirt walls, if dirt walls ever enter your system, they will never leave your system. They will never pass through. They won't go out to the right either, but they'll just end up getting stuck in the chest, like so. If you want if you want a more foolproof way, you can use non-stackable items such as armor. If you do, I highly recommend wood helms. Wood helms take a full double chest of wood helms minus the 1 spot. That's 35 wood helms. Requires 140 wood, and wood is one of the easiest materials to farm. Building an automated farm for it's very simple. Finally, it's a good idea to, even though you only need 4 items to set up an moving item filter, it's a good idea to have at least a 5th of that item so that you can test your moving item filter. So let's get started. So I like to start by placing down the arms and the drills first, and then build the circuitry around it. So we place an arm pointing to the left if this is your first, or if this is your first design. Just put it right wherever you want your input line to feed into. Otherwise, it should go so that the output line, or the pass-through line, I guess we'll call it, this being the filtered item line and this being the pass-through line. The pass-through line should be pointing down so that your robot arm is hovering over the space below it. So you place 1 robot arm down, then you place down another robot arm facing in the same direction. Then we're going to go in a clockwise circle with the arms facing against the direction we're going in. So this one's to the left, this one's up, this one's right, and this one is down. Finally, let's do the drills. next, let's do the drills. So one of the drills, the drill that's going to catch items that don't belong in the filter, will aim up, and you put it just to the left of the arm that you just put down. And then the arm that's going to catch the items that are being output will go in this nook right here, like so. Actually, let me exit God. Exit God mode here. There we go. So next we will set up the cross circuitry. So a cross circuit will go here. One cross circuit will go here. Don't change these; they're fine as is, just placed normally. Then we will have let's not actually do those right away. So after you place these two cross circuits, put down a chest on top. Then let's do logic circuits. So one logic circuit will be placed pointing rightwards here, between the arm and the drill. And another logic circuit will be pointing upwards into your input arm here. And then we will place some cross circuits here and here, but before we do that, we should place down our pedestals. It's very difficult to interact with pedestals when you once you place circuits down on them, as you can see, and so we should place them down first. So this pedestal, we'll place it down, and we'll put one of our items in. Then we'll put down this pedestal, put an item in, put down this pedestal, put an item in, and then let's handle our chest really quick. So for our chest, we're going to put down our fourth item, and then place each of our filler items to occupy all remaining spaces. Like so. Now, we've gotten our pedestals down, so let's place the cross circuits now. So we'll put down one cross circuit and interact with the cross circuit, not the pedestal, twice. Once, twice. You can see what it would look like here if you place down another cross circuit to the side. Once, twice. So that's what it should look like. It's hard to see under the pedestal, but trust me, it's better doing it this way than trying to interact with the pedestal after the cross circuit is down. For this one, you place down a cross circuit and you interact with it once. For an idea, that is what it would look like. Finally, we're going to place down our last cross circuit here and not interact with it. And then we are going to put down one generator to the left of this logic gate and one generator to the right of this cross circuit that we just put down. Now, if this is your first module, you're going to see something along the lines, there won't be a spot, or there won't be anything here. So that extra cross circuit that we picked up goes here and aims downwards. If this isn't your first module, then it should already be in place from the previous module, because that cross circuit, this one here, is this cross circuit here. They're the same. Anyways, so back to setting this up. Okay, with that, our moving item filter is complete. Now, of course, it can't work without a clock, and for that, oh, sorry, not complete, I made a mistake. You need to set up the conveyor belts, of course. So, pointing left, but coming out from below this pass-through drill, we will place 2 conveyor belts pointing left, and below the generator, 1 conveyor belt pointing downwards. Now, torches are optional, but I'm going to put down some torches here. There we go. So this module is complete. Now this one happens to be filtering bloat oat seeds. Oh wait, sorry. My mistake again. You will also want 1 conveyor belt pointing to the right, outwards from the filtering drill. Now it's complete. Before these filter modules can actually work, however, we need to set up a clock. Now, you are welcome to use whatever clock you want. It should have a minimum of a 3-tick period, I believe. To be safe, I would go with at least a 4-tick period. And it should have a 1-tick on cycle. What do I mean by that? Well, if we look, let me enable God mode real quick. I'll put these back actually for now. Here's an example of a clock that is on for some amount of time and off for some amount of time, whereas here's an example of a clock that is on for precisely 1 tick and off for the rest of the time. You can see the light bulb flicker on real quick. So you're welcome to build any clock that you'd like. However, if you don't want your arms to look all unnatural and glitchy, then I recommend building this fairly simple clock design that I came up with, which is, for it you will need 3 electrical wires, 3 electricity sticks, 4 delay circuits, 3 logic circuits, an electricity generator, and a lever. Start by placing a logic circuit pointing upwards, and on either end of it, 2 electricity sticks. This will generate our 1-tick pulse. Below that, sorry, let me disable God mode. 1 logic circuit, and on either end, 2 electricity sticks. That's our 1-tick pulse. Below that, we will add on another logic circuit, and to its right, another electricity stick. To the left of this logic circuit, we will have a delay circuit pointing rightwards into the logic circuit. Below that, 2 wires. Below that, the same deal. We have delay circuit pointing right and a logic circuit pointing upwards. And then finally, for our input, we're going to put a logic circuit pointing leftwards into the, a delay circuit pointing leftwards into the logic circuit, and then a delay circuit pointing upwards into the logic circuit, followed by a lever. Now the lever on its own is not going to provide enough power to properly run this this circuit, so we're going to strengthen our lever by putting a generator behind it. This clock to run the moving item filters should be at least 1 block away from the moving item filters itself, or at least 1 block of distance between it and the moving item filters itself, which we will bridge with a simple wire. Make sure that this wire does not actually go left or right and connect to these electricity sticks. That would be bad. So when we run it, we can see that every other tick is a full cycle for one of these arms. They pick up their item and then place it on the pedestal, or in the case of this left arm, put it in the chest. If we put a, rather than waiting for a super long time, let's just put a bloat oat seed here. We'll see it go down and enter our moving item filter here. And voila! But if we add, I don't know, let's say cakes instead, they instead go down and exit down to the left here. And that's a moving item filter. For details on how they actually work, you can check out my previous video. The design there does work as well, it does have an issue with closing the world and re-entering while it's running, and that issue is solved with this, and this is also more compact. Once again, thanks to RiceGnat for coming up with this design. I figured I'd share a tutorial of it with you all. Thanks.